Hello YouTube, welcome to my classroom tour for the 2025-2026 school year. Just a little background if you're new here, my name is Fletcher Nelson. I'm a third grade teacher in Minnesota, and this will be my 12th year of teaching. This tour is happening before school starts. We don't start school with students till after Labor Day, so we have about a little bit over a month. So I might do an updated tour once we're in the classroom and things change a little bit, but here is the preschool year classroom tour. I'll give you a little overview here quick, and then we'll go through each part of my classroom. Like I said, we have not started school, so there are some areas that aren't done or need to be touched up a little bit, but I will talk about that, like this pile right here. We are going to start at the back of the room, and I will show you cabinets, I'll show you cupboards, I'll show you everything that I have, just so you can kind of see how I'm set up and organized. I moved into this room. Last year was my first year in this room, and I do not plan on leaving this room. I love this room, so I'm trying to make it work so I don't have to reorganize or change anything. So, starting this back corner. My garbage can, my recycling bin, they're always there. This is a pile of stuff I just need to either bring home or put in storage, so ignore that stuff. Plinko board, I just got that. I'll find a better place for that at some point, but for right now, that's staying right there. So anyways, we have this back area. It's kind of pushed in a little bit. So back here, I have one of my library shelves. The lower shelf is all picture books, and then the upper shelves and the upper bins are chapter books and some popular series. So if we look, it's like a lot of the Branches books, Puppy Place. I don't have like a specific library system because I'm not a super organized person, but maybe someday I will get there. And my uncle helped me build this shelf, so that is where that came from. And then up here we have some bigger series that are popular. That way they can just kind of flip through to find the ones that they want. So that is one area of my classroom library. I also just have these drawers over here having some various supplies in them. And I think right now we're actually doing pretty good. That is one calculator. Ziplocs. I haven't actually gone through these since last year, but glue bottles, see, pretty good, pretty good. Whiteboard markers, graph paper, whatever else. So that is just some math manipulatives and other things that students have access to. Like the glue bottles and glue sticks, that would be like extras. So they obviously have their own. But if students are cleaning up and they find some on the floor, they stick them back here. If they need a glue stick and they can't find one, they can come back here and grab one. So this is just kind of like extra supplies / put supplies you find on the ground back. And then obviously some math manipulatives and stuff. So that is the back area. So four students. The cabinets here are going to be for me. This one says science materials, somewhat right. Trays. These trays have been really nice during science and like STEM challenges to like hand out materials. Pizza pizzazz, not necessarily science, but handy to have. Some modeling clay up here, and then some just containers. These are some pennies and coins for a lab that I do at the beginning of the year. So some of our science materials, but we also have an area where we keep our shared grade level science materials. So that's one cupboard. Next one says lights and cords and review games, and that is actually correct. So we have some black lights. These lights are kind of handy during like indoor recess. They just plug in, so if kids want to do like a puzzle or a game, and we also have a movie going, they're able to see. Some extra just like holiday lights, some review games. These basketball trash cans are used for review games. So just, and then up here we have like bingo chips, some buzz, oh that's a light bulb, and then some buzzers. So this stuff for review games and or lights. On the top back here, a couple letters fell down over the summer, so I do need to replace those. But it says third grade family, and I will eventually, I'll take their picture on the first day of school, and that will stay up throughout the year. Before open house, I usually just put their name in it so it doesn't look as bland, and when they come in here, they can see their name around the room. So that's kind of nice because I don't have to change that at all the whole school year, and I love just having as many pictures as I can up around the room. And then these are all the class composites from the years that I've taught so far, hanging up. And then we get over to this big cupboard. So we have STEM materials, science materials, pretty accurate. And this stuff I did organize at the end of the school year, so it is pretty, it's labeled pretty well. If you would have been in here last year, it would not have been, but have some different tubs for STEM materials, cups, we have beads. That was a big indoor recess favorite last year, was just making bracelets. So I got beads, I have more beads up there. Pipe cleaners. This is a giant Jenga for review games. And then just like my laminator 3-hole punch. So some stuff that's not necessarily STEM materials, but overall pretty organized. And then down here, again, I organized at the end of the school year. So these are some backpacks that are just have some different science things like thermometers, a shovel, tweezers. So we could bring these outside or whatever. Have some flashlight, compasses. I always forget what these are called, but the little eyedroppers. Some magnifying glasses are in here. And then just chalk and some other just science random stuff. And then extra things down there. But just got some random science materials in these cupboards. And from there, we are at my desk area. So I have one more bookshelf that my uncle helped me build. This one is mainly graphic novels. So we have all different graphic novels there. When I was setting up this year, I tried to like organize them into series if I can. I know it won't stay that way throughout the school year. You can tell at one point I tried doing like the colored tape method, but then just never finished. But this is another classroom library area with just some different books. Obviously, we have a school library as well, but I like them having access to books throughout the day if they need to find a new one, change books, whatever. And then we have some more, this is more like art supplies, different types of paper. Again, just markers, crayons, colored pencils. If they find those on the ground, they can just put them in there. And if they need one, they can come find one. And like scissors, that's just extras because there's always kids towards the end of the year that can't find theirs. And then this is where they do their turn-in. So I have a turn-in for each different subject. And then I also have a drawer for some extra copies. So that is the front of my desk. Right now, this cart has my Chromebooks stacked in them. Last year, my students did keep their Chromebooks in their desk because I did get individual desks last year. But I also saw a TikTok where somebody turned this cart into a charging station. They used dividers to have like, I think it was 7 or 8 Chromebooks going across in each row. So I might do that just to free up some space within their desk and we don't use our Chromebooks a ton. So toying with that idea. So they're just sitting in there for right now. That's an idea I have, not 100% sure. Let's just go my actual desk. This is from Amazon. I actually, I could have like a big teacher desk from the district. I got rid of it probably my first year. And then I just had a small table. And then I actually bought this exact desk for my nephew for Christmas. It's like a gaming desk and it was not very expensive. I would say when I bought it, it was like 90 bucks. So I did buy it myself. I'm not saying go buy your own desk, but I did buy it myself. And what I like is I like this little area that sticks out here. I like that it has some built-in outlets. And then I really like that it has this lifted part. So my monitor can be up above. My keyboard can be down here. And then, yeah, just got some different cups and writing utensils and all the things over here. So that is my desk. And then next to my desk, I have my mini fridge. And then my phone is up here. This is like the sound system speaker controls for the speakers in the ceiling. So there's my desk area. And then behind my desk, I have right now a lot of student drawings. And then any school pictures that kids give me are back there. I will typically take some of these drawings down and just store them because obviously my new class, like a lot of times they like to draw me pictures and stuff too. So these ones are from last year. So I just like to keep them up. I'll take some down, make some space in the walls. And then let's look at the cupboards that I have behind my desk. First one here, math manuals and some $1 bills. So we have used bridges. So I just have my unit manuals here, number corners up there, some extra whiteboards here, and then these are the math vocab cards that come with it. So that's one cabinet. IRAs, we currently have Font and Spinel Classroom. We will not keep that for much longer. But Minnesota is going through like the whole READ Act and having to select new curriculums that are approved. Obviously, if you know, Font and Spinel will not be an approved one. But I do like their IRAs. I do like the read alouds. So these are the different read aloud sets. And then I have some just different reading like books and manuals up there. And then this is part 2 of the IRAs, so the other sets. And again, just some of my read alouds, and then some other just ELA, like word study lessons, some grammar books, and whatever else are in these cabinets. This last cabinet, I started making copies last year. So like this is my daily math review. So I just started making some copies towards the end of the year when I had some free time. And got those printed and prepped. Same up here, it's some like spelling stuff, but also I just have like a little heater, and then just some random drink packets and stuff in that last cupboard. On my back counter last year, I did have the fish tank, but I moved that, so I'll show you where I moved that to. So really, I just then have my microwave with some different just things students have got me over the years, like a bobblehead of myself and my dogs, snow globe and whatever else, and then just some more pictures and stuff from students. And then over here is where I'm going to try to be more organized with like my copies for the week. And I'm going to try to keep this pretty clear back here. We'll see how it goes, but I already have some stuff for the first week printed, even though we don't start for a month. And then we're moving on to the lower section of the cupboards back here. A lot of this stuff is going to be math related. So this drawer here is going to be geoboards and a Chromebook. I don't know if that's one that needs to be fixed or if I took it away from somebody. Don't remember putting that there. All right, geoboards, and then number corner. Oh, another one. This is all part of our, again, our math curriculum. These are just some of the calendar pieces that I, probably from May, that I did not put back in their spot at the end of the school year because I was just shoving things places. But again, math curriculum-wise, same down here, math manipulative. So we have, oh, I forgot to put those there. We had the dentist come in, so those were some extra bags. But the rest of that is like pattern blocks and base 10 blocks. So math manipulatives down there, some more number corner and math stuff here. So we have some like money pieces and scales and stuff in this one. And then over here, again, just keep going. We have some Unifix cubes, some compasses, just some different number dice, and some other just random materials that we need throughout our math lessons. This unlabeled drawer is just like my supply stuff. So I've threw some stuff in here, but it's like Sharpies, these blocks we used for geocache at the end of the year, but just like Velcro strips, hole punchers, sticky tack. So I need to go through and organize this, but that is just where I keep a lot of my supplies. And this one that says extra supplies is kind of extra supplies, but more like cords, cables, label maker, that type of stuff. And we have one more that says social studies. I'm going to peel this off because it's not social studies, but this is more like bottom shelves, my winter gear. I have some extra paper, cardstock and stuff. I don't need this, but last year Office Depot sent me a care package, and in there they had a bunch of paper, which is super nice. I love having it, but this is not social studies stuff, more just like random office supplies as well. That is my desk area. And then we'll move on with the rest of the room. So here's what I can see, my little view from my desk. At the back of the room, I have this table, which is not going to be for assigned seating. This is just extra work area if people want to move and get their own space. I have my first year teaching, I had desks, and then ever since then I've had tables. And last school year I got a grant and I decided to get individual desks because I loved tables, but I feel like kids have never had their own space. So my class has always had a table spot, and then their stuff was stored in a drawer. And I just got to the point where I'm like, I want them to know what it's like to have their own desk. So I got these in probably March of last year, and I loved them. So I'm hoping I love them again. So I'm starting off the year in groups, but I'll get there. Anyways, this table is just, again, extra workspace. I like that it's a little bit taller. If they want to stand, work, whatever else. If they're doing a group project and want to sit back here together, this is just some extra workspace. And then I have my desks. Right now, I do have them set up in groups of 4 and 6 because at the beginning of the school year, I like to do a lot of STEM challenges and just getting to know you stuff. So I want them to be sitting in groups so I can do those things. That's one thing I did like about tables is the collaborative piece, but I also like that for desks, I can be flexible with how I want the arrangement and that their stuff is right there, like inside their desk. Obviously, there's nothing yet because we haven't started, but they will keep the majority of their stuff in their desk and have access to it. And I do still have ways that they can be flexible. Obviously, if they want their own space, they can move their desk away from people if needed. I have lap desks up there that they can use to work around the room. They have a clipboard. So there's still ways where it's not like they're at their desk all day long. With this current arrangement too, when I did my class setup video, some people were concerned about like the people who face backwards seeing the board. But especially at the beginning of the year, I will be doing all of my whole group instruction from the carpet. I will have them come up here because that's what they are used to. Again, they've had tables every single year since kindergarten, at least at my school. So I want to keep that going, and I just like having them all together. And then once they are going to do their work, they will disperse and go back to their desk or wherever they would like to work comfortably. So it's not a big deal that they're can't see the board, because if they need to see the board, they'll be probably up at the carpet, or they could always just turn around. So that is how I'm starting the year with desk arrangement. But I am somebody who likes to change things up. So I'm thinking it might be every month or every other month, I'll probably switch up my desk layout. But this is how we are going to start the year. I do have, so this is wobble stools. These are regular chairs, but they are on wheels. I wouldn't have thought that I wanted chairs on wheels, but when I got my desks, I also got just regular chairs, and I thought I wanted these, but kids lean back on these. They can't do that on the wheeled ones, because obviously they would slip. So I kind of like the wheeled chairs better now. They can be annoying because kids try to like push themselves around on them, but people who were sitting on these ones were always trying to lean back. So that is a perk to the wheels. But anyways, when I got my desks, I got 12 of these regular chairs. So that is what is in the middle. And then I have 4 more wobble stools over here. So kids will get to change what type of chair they have. They won't be stuck with the same chair the whole year. But those are the different types of chairs that I have. This carpet I've had forever. I think it's from School Specialty, but I've been at this school for 9 years. I did not have it my first year. So I've had it for 8 years. And then I bet it's been here for at least 8 more years before that. But it looks just in such good condition because our custodians are awesome. And over every break, they are shampooing it and cleaning it. So shout out to them because they do such a great job. And again, I like doing my whole group instruction up here. If I'm doing a read aloud, I like having them up here because they're all just together and it's a little bit easier to manage them when they are all up at the carpet, and then they can disperse to go do their work. So that is my rug. And then let's get up to this front corner. I have my nugget, which is just a area to read, work, whatever, and just kind of comfy and cozy. I have some lamps that I will obviously have on during the school days, but right now I have the overhead lights on. And then I have a whiteboard. I did get this digital clock. It's not set up correctly right now. I got unplugged when they were cleaning my room, so I will get that set back up. But I like that up there because otherwise my clock is at the back of the room, which I think it's just not in a convenient spot. So I really have liked that clock. And then I have my secret stories, which are just phonics posters and stories that give a reason why different letters make the sounds that they do when they're together. I have many videos about the secret stories, so if you're interested, just search my channel for the secret stories. I love them, would recommend. One of our awesome title teachers actually did a grant, so every K through 3 classroom has these now, which is amazing. And then up here is when I ordered my desk, this one came damaged, so they sent me a new one and let me keep this one. So this is now just where my document camera is, and just underneath is, like I said, those lap desks they can use. I have my anchor chart paper. And then in these magnetic holders, I just keep, right now, nothing, but usually whiteboard markers. Actually, this kind of stuff's just usually over here a little bit closer. So we have that, and then I use this chime to get attention as well. This is usually more over here. Actually, I think I had it hanging up there last year, but anyways, that is the front of the room on this side. This is just some magnetic notebook paper. Especially in 3rd grade, I find a lot of them at the beginning of the year are like drifting as they write. So I like having this visual to kind of model for them up there of expectations. This cube shelf is STEM materials that they can use during indoor recess. So like there's Tower Challenge, Connects. These are some little builder things called Zoobs. We have Legos, a marble maze with a Percy Jackson book in it. Contraptions, little wood pieces. And then I'm missing 1 cube, so I need to get 1 more. But that's just easy access to that stuff so they can use it when we have indoor recess, because in Minnesota, we have a lot of winter indoor recess days. Our cutoff is -10, so if it's below -10, they stay inside, which happens pretty frequently. I have some more secret stories above the Promethean board, and on the side of it, these stools, they can move around the room, or a lot of times with them together, kids like just come like lay up here across them, but they can move those as well. This year I added this chair. It's from my house, but I got a new couch and did not have anywhere to put it. So I thought it might be a kind of like cozy little corner for when I do read alouds, or maybe letting kids sit there and read as well. So I have that with a lamp behind it. I have a magnetic bookshelf where I'll keep my read alouds for the week. So here are some I want to read at the beginning of the school year. And then my snake plant that my class named Harold the first year I had it. We have him up there. And then moving on to this wall. Again, some letters fell down that I need to replace, but I have my genre posters. We refer to these all the time. Every time we do a read aloud, we talk about the genre of the book. So I have those up there for us to reference. And then the wall of wisdom is just where I will hang up anchor charts throughout the year. So usually they'll be up on the board or wherever when I make them for a day or two, and then I stick them over there so they can keep referencing them and we know where they're at. So that's what the wall of wisdom is. And then on this corner over here, this is where I decided to move the fish tank, which is nice. I would have put it on the counter, but it does not fit with the filter doesn't fit under it. But this spot I think will be better because kids can come look at them more easily. Last year's behind my desk, so I didn't mind that they were back there looking at them, but it'll be nice that they don't need to be behind my desk to see the fish. And they're also, like, I thought about at the front of the room, but I also feel like if I would be looking at the fish during a lesson as a kid, so I decided like up here wouldn't be the best spot because then they would be more interested in the fish than what I'm teaching. So I think that'll be a good spot. We'll see how it goes. I toyed with putting them back here, like in front of my desk too, so if I need to move them, I can. And then we are on to these cabinets, which aren't all fully labeled because this is the area I've been kind of messing with what I want to do with. So I do have my pencil sharpener over here. These clipboards each student will get, so these won't stay here, but they're just there for right now. So let's take a look what's in these. This one says art supplies, and I do think it is art supplies. Yes, this one's looking good. So paints, watercolors, watercolor paper, tissue paper, so just random, some oil pastels, so any art supplies. We do have an art teacher, so they get art for half of the year. But I also like to do some projects in here. I'm not the best at it, but I'm trying to be better because I have had some really artistic kids, especially lately, and I feel bad when I don't do things for them to get to do art. So I'm trying to be better. So this is our art supplies. This next one I think is books. Yeah. This is a drawing rack I got for art stuff, but I have not put together yet. Last year I started doing like monthly book clubs. That was optional, so kids could read the book if they wanted, and then I had a few comprehension questions, and then we would meet on Fridays during lunch, and we would discuss the book and eat lunch in the classroom. So these are just some of those books. So like, here, I'll show you an example. This is I Survived the Black Death. So what I give them is just this question packet, and the comprehension questions are not anything hard, but just enough for me to know that they read it. So I don't want it to feel like work, and then they can write it if there's any questions or notes or new words that they didn't know what they mean. So just a little comprehension check to know that they read it. And then at the end of the book, they'll do a little reflection and rate it. So again, I tell them they can read it on their own or they can read it with a family member. I honestly think it'd be kind of like a good way at the end of the day, each day, to kind of read a chapter with a family member. And then that way, just kind of a good discussion for like guardians to have with their children about, I don't know, I think reading is just a good way to learn about other people and other places and just have some good discussions about why you think characters made the choices they did and whatnot. So these are just some different books I have for those monthly book clubs. Last year was the first year I did it, so I don't fully have one for each month, but I'm getting close. I've been using my Scholastic points. So I got this one, Puppy Place one. Didn't use that one last year. I got this at the end of the year. Goosebumps I got at the end of the year. A lot of them have been I Survived. I did Winn-Dixie. I also did, this is the first, I did a Where is the Serengeti book, so like a little bit of a nonfiction. I Survived's been popular. And then I also did Frindle. They really liked Frindle. Above this sink is just some cleaning supplies. These Kleenex boxes are empty. My team, we do a economics unit each year, and kids get to make their own product. And so I'm storing these so it can be an option for kids to use. I just have a lot of cabinet space. Not every classroom has gotten new cabinets. This room did, and that's why I decided to move into it when the opportunity came up. So I said I could store the Kleenex boxes in here. So every time we empty a Kleenex box, we've just been trying to remember to bring it in here. That way we have them for that unit next year. But otherwise, just have some paper towels, little, not really a toolbox, but like a tool bucket, Tupperware, spoons, pizza cutter, air fresheners. So just some random stuff above the sink. This is my sink area, so soap dispenser, paper towel thing, be the nice kid quote next to it. And then under the sink is going to be just like Ziploc bags and some more paint, I guess. I didn't know that was down there, if I'm being honest, and some more trays. So Ziploc bags, trays under the sink. Over here, those shirts are kind of for our pep rallies that we have. So, and then just some random construction paper. So this is one that I might use for some student stuff. Right now, I'm not 100% sure where I want to keep like their headphones. So that's a possibility. And then in this one right now, these are privacy dividers for like when we're taking tests, social studies textbooks that are super outdated. And then right now the bucket of headphones is right here. Last year I used a water bottle holder for them and I liked that, but I had them up in that corner and now that chair kind of took over that spot and I don't have a great place to put them. Still thinking about it. So right now I just have them in this container. Again, we don't use them super often, so I don't want them in their desk because that otherwise it kind of takes up space in there. So we'll figure it out, but that's where it is. They are for right now. And that brings us over to our last cabinet. The upper area is a lot of my just extra storage, like my old book bins, because obviously I don't really need those now that they have a desk. And then just some containers. This is that water bottle holder I was using. This is my number corner, which is part of our math curriculum, so I do need to hang that back up. But that will go probably on that whiteboard because I like having our anchor charts there. And it is a pretty big calendar and it's part of the curriculum. So it'll probably go on that whiteboard. And then these are some containers students could use. Oh, I could put one of these out. Let's bring the magnet tiles up here because then we have 4 and 4. Hold on. Okay, this is looking better. The only one that doesn't have a label is the extra Legos. Maybe I should put the Legos on top and bottom of each other. Probably should make some little tags so they get put back in the right spot, but I don't really care about it that much. But okay, there we go. So this one is just Jenga pieces. This one is, some Zoobs. I need to put those with other Zoobs. And then the rest are Unifix cubes. All right, let's do that quick. Okay, these go there. All right, and these are just Unifix cubes. Okay, all right. So that's the upper cabinet. And then this one says board games, which is pretty accurate. Oh, these are some Lego creations they were keeping last year. So I can put those back in the Legos. But then we do have games. Again, this is not the most organized thing right now. But I have like Connect 4, Sorry, Battleship, Don't Break the Ice, Sorry, another Lego creation someone was saving. Snap Circuits, some different card games, some puzzles, more Marble Maze. Oh, maybe I want that to be out too. I'll have to think about that. More Lego creations they're saving, so those can go back with the Legos, and then puzzles. But yeah, these should probably go out because Marble Maze is a popular one. Okay, made that change. The Tower Challenge is going to come back here so they can still use it. It's just not as popular as the other ones when they're just trying to play for fun. So Tower Challenge will go up there where they can still use it. That's just where they have different cards, and they're trying to make that tower out of the popsicle cleaners and the foam cubes. It is fun. It's just not the most popular thing. So they can still use it. It's just not going to be up front for easy access. And I will get these Legos put back with the rest of the Legos. I'm just not going to do that now. But yeah, kids last year were building these things and wanted to save them, so they were putting them up here. And that is that. Things that have not gone up. I put my lunch choice on this cabinet. It looks like a clip chart, but they just use their clothespin to move it to hot lunch, cold lunch. Cold lunch is them bringing their own. Bag lunch is a cold sandwich from school. So they just make their lunch choice right here. I put like the lunch menu up here and then that little clip chart there. That needs to go up. Over here, I was going to get rid of this, but I stuck it here and I kind of don't mind it there. So I might put, I don't know what I'll put there, maybe clipboards or just some extra materials. And then right now their Chromebook chargers are in here. But like I said, I might try to make that cart their charging area. So then this could be like our library book return or our lost and found on top of it. But I don't mind that there. Normally I do have this crate here, but it's just on the ground. And I don't really mind it being off the ground. We'll see how I feel once the school year comes. And then this little bucket they used to go get, oh, they kept my letters. That was so nice of them. I thought they were gone. Okay, that's the Wall of Wisdom. And then, oh my gosh, This is amazing. I'm so glad that they kept those. I thought I was gonna have to find the paper and same colored paper. That is fantastic. GR, the RA, and the O. Shout out to the custodians. So this is just the tub we use for going to get milk and juice during snack. I have my umbrella for dismissal duty if it's raining, emergency stuff, ball pump. That stuff's all by the door. This is our silent ball. I don't know why that's there, but oops. And we are back to the beginning. So that is my classroom setup for the upcoming school year. If you have questions, let me know, and I can definitely do an updated tour once the school year starts. And I've kind of played with things like headphones, chargers, all that stuff to see what works best for my class, because this will be the first year I'm starting the year with desks since I got these in March of last year. So if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope if you're a teacher that you have a great school year. I will see you guys next time. If you're not already, you should like this video, comment on it, subscribe so you can see upcoming vlogs and videos and what's going on in my classroom. So thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.